Someday, little Honda, someday it'll be your turn. Right after I figure out why it won't start. Somebody parked their truck too close to the bike. Be time to zip up my coat. That thing's lying. It's not 64 degrees outside. I don't know why it jumped up there. Too much engine heat. Almost forgot to plug it in. Alright, now my heated gloves are plugged in. Let's try this. Take your time. Nobody's in a hurry. So it's about 34 degrees Fahrenheit today. Yes, it is. And I would have never thought 2.5 weeks ago that when I got these heated glove liners, the weather would have turned so mild that I couldn't finish my review on them. So I started a video on them and decided it was too warm to wear heated glove liners. So today I'm going to take them out for a little bit and see how they do. Also going to take the opportunity to say Happy New Year. First ride of the new decade right here. 2020. It is January 1st, and it is such a beautiful day that I just can't help myself but ride. And I probably should have done something about let's say I probably should have done something about my visor fogging up. It's a little icy. We don't want to wreck right there. I've done that already. I wrecked right there, and I don't want to do it again. Alright, so how's your new year going so far? Me? Doing great. No work, so relax. Took my time getting out and about this morning. It is almost noon. Got a little family time planned this afternoon, so I thought I'd do some me time this morning. So I told you about the new gloves. I'll let you know at the end of the video or some point how wonderful they are. Right now, they're nice and warm. My hands are toasty. And I just plugged them in, so I like them so far. Yeah. I figure if Joey can ride in the Swiss Alps at 19 degrees Fahrenheit, I ought to be able to ride in Northwest Ohio and 32, 34 degrees. Yep. Try to keep this closed as much as I can because I know it helps with the audio, don't you know? Yeah. It's pretty out here, don't you think? I think so. Well, as you saw at the beginning of the video, got my little Honda in the garage. It's a Honda 50. It's a 1969 CA102 Honda 50. I have had it since I was about, I think, 15, 16 years old, something like that. My dad brought it out to me. I lived down just outside of Utica, Ohio, which is southeastern area. Central, southeastern, whatever you want to call it. South of here, anyways. Anyway, so I've had the Honda most of my life, and used to ride it around the farm that we lived on, and I never really rode it as a street bike. I just fooled around on it around the farm. And then, as will happen, you know, as I became an adult, I got busy doing other stuff, kind of forgot about it off and on. I'd get it out and ride it a little bit. So for the last 10 years or so, it's been sitting underneath my sister's front porch, collecting dust. And not really a lot of rust, just collecting dust. I decided a while back, you know what, I'm getting back into motorcycles. Let's get it out and see what we can do with it. Well, I did. The last time I rode it, I think, was 2005. And since then, we tossed the battery because it was junk. But now that I've hooked a new battery up to it, I can't get any power out of it. So I'm going to have to go through the wiring, check and see where my failures are at, and probably buy a couple of new parts for it. See if we can't get the old boy running again. My wife's actually kind of excited about seeing the Honda run because she wants to ride it around the neighborhood. I think their top speed was 45 mile an hour or something like that. We don't even need to go that fast on it. My plan is to, of course, do a color change on it. I mean, I like the old red bike, but just because we're doing everything new to it, I thought, why not do a color change? That is yet to be determined. I think I've got a color in mind because I have color on the shelf that I can use. And then I have some large pieces of leather, so I'm thinking about redoing the seat. We'll see about that. I don't have an absolute concrete plan in place for the Honda yet, but that's in the works. But I do have plans for 2020. I've got some rides already planned. I definitely plan on linking up with some other riders. I want to ride over to Fort Wayne to a restaurant that just opened up December 5th. It's called Portillo's. I used to eat there a lot when they were in Chicago. Well, they're still in Chicago, but when I was in Chicago, I would go out there and I went out there for work quite a bit, and I would eat there quite a bit. And they just opened a restaurant in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's about an hour and 40 minutes from here or so. So I thought I would ride over and meet up with some folks here, there, and everywhere, and have us a meal. So that's in the works. This is super icy. I hesitated to come up here because I figured it would be icy. It is. Yeah. It's all right. We can do it. See, I mentioned Joey earlier. He's from Switzerland, I guess. That's where he's always riding anyway. I follow him on Instagram, and you should too. That dude is crazy, man. He will ride. Look how nasty, dirty that bike is. He will ride in the craziest weather up into the Alps. But he gets some gorgeous pictures when he does. You should go check him out. Follow him on Instagram. So there's the glove liner by Hot Wired. And the wire runs through my jacket and down out the side here, and then plugs in over here. And I have a bad habit of jumping off the bike with it still plugged in, and it just pops itself off. Probably not a good thing. At some point I'll end up either learning or ripping the wire off. Not cool. Let's not do that. Anyway, plug it in, heat up the gloves. Now these gloves only heat one temperature. Like they don't, I guess some of them have like a thermostat or whatever, put different temperatures on. This does one temperature, but for no colder than the temperatures I ride in, they should do fine. Can't imagine me running anything colder than this, and if I do, I reckon I'll get me some different gloves. As of right now, my hands are toasty in these, and I like it. I don't like the looks of that. I'll move over here. That is super icy. Yeah, regret the whole situation of going on top of the reservoir. Not a smart move today. Alright, some other things I want to talk about. Oh yeah. So, if you follow me much, you'll know that at Christmas, I said I got a new coffee maker I wanted to review. I actually did a review of it, but I didn't post it because I wasn't happy with the way it turned out. I will probably put parts of that in there because I actually reviewed it as I unboxed it. But since then, I have learned to make coffee with it. And I like it. It's an AeroPress, or it's made by AeroPress, or it is an AeroPress, or whatever. Look at all this ice. This is a solid sheet ice, by the way. Probably not recommended for riding on, kids. I could totally do a burnout. Alright, I have just moved myself back up the notch of crazy to insane, but I love it. I love it. So if you do go out riding on a day like today, you want to stay out of the shadows, because the shadows where the sun is not hitting the pavement is going to make ice, and ice does not go well underneath a motorcycle tire. It just doesn't. Next year I'll have tire chains. No, I don't think that's a thing. Not for motorcycles. Well, maybe it is. You know what would be better is to put tracks on it and a ski on the front. Well, that's a whole different bike, isn't it? Those things look fun. So anyway, so I was talking about the AeroPress. I am ready to do a review on it, so that will be coming up soon. Look for that. And in the same review, I will show the manual coffee grinder that I got. I have a couple of electric coffee grinders, but the manual one I can put in the backpack, take with me, and I can make coffee out on the road somewhere. If If I go out on an overnight trip, all I got to do is get some hot water at the hotel or something, or if we're camping, you know, cook some hot water over the fire. And the rest of it is up to me with my AeroPress and my coffee grinder and all that good stuff. Of course, the other option is to grind your coffee before you leave. But if you want really good, fresh coffee, you're going to take a coffee grinder with you. Just saying. It's all about the coffee. It's also all about the ride. So that's about all I have to say today. I could say a whole lot more, but it's cold out. I'm going back to the house, play some video games in the warmth. Whoever said it was alright to ride today was crazy. Oh wait, that was me. So I'll tell you this about the gloves. It's 34, 35 degrees out here, and when they're plugged in, they keep my hands nice and toasty. The last time I got off the bike, I forgot to plug them back in. I'm not so toasty anymore. I can actually feel it already, and it's only been a couple of miles. So yeah, I definitely like these. They're perfect for what I do. Well, hey, have yourself a wonderful new year, and I will catch you in the next one.